I tried my best to rank these, but honestly that was impossible. So here's my top 10 favorite video games of all time in no particular order. These are ones that shaped me, stuck with me, or were just simply a comfort game for me to replay over and over and over and put many hours on. Let's get the honorable mention out of the way, and that is Expedition 33. The reason that this is an honorable mention and not in my top 10 before people start screaming is because I only have 8 hours on it. But in those 8 hours, I know that it is going to be in my top 10, in my top 5, in my top 3. It has every element of a video game that I love. Turn-based, amazing music, characters, story, all of it. So once I finish it, I will do my own review on it and let you guys know where I would place it amongst my favorites. I don't even want to know how many hours I have on this game. 400, 500. Between both games, maybe 800. More than any other game I have ever probably played has made me rage so badly. All you're doing is covering the map in paint. It makes me more mad than any competitive game I've ever played. Valorant, Overwatch, but I still love this. My sister was in Japan for a few months and she was talking about how popular this game was, and I was like, no thank you, it looks like it's for kids. I don't like the vibes of it. She ultimately convinced me to play it, and during work, after work, it was all I could think about. They do this thing called Splatfest, which is where you pick like ketchup or mayo, heroes or villains. You get to join the teams, play on different maps. This is a very challenging game, but with so many fun, unique weapons, really interesting maps that you're either distraught over when you see it or that you cheer for. Highly recommend it if you're looking for a fun solo game or just a game to play with some friends. Smash Bros is one of those games that most of us know and love. It was one of the games that my siblings would give me a fake controller that was unplugged to make it feel like I was playing it. So I've just played this ever since I came out of the womb, essentially. This is my original cartridge. My brother's name is written on the back. My favorite is probably Brawl because of the memories, Subspace Emissary, both good and bad memories. Pokemon is probably a nostalgic choice for a lot of us. If I had to pick my favorites, it would be Pokemon Puzzle League and Pokemon Black, because I think Pokemon Black has the strongest story of the mainline games that I have played. Staying on Pokemon Puzzle League though, this is definitely a nostalgia pick for me because this is another game that I played growing up. Think Bejeweled Blitz, Candy Crush, but this is miles better. Nothing can replicate this. This is one of those games that made me feel smart as an 8-year-old. I like matching the blocks. Very fun. Again, I feel like Pokemon Black and White have the strongest story of the mainline games, but there's games like Soul Silver, Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Snap. Pokemon is one of those video games that shaped me. I'm almost positive that at least 50% of all of my memories are affiliated with Pokemon, whether that's the movies, the games, the show. Pokemon 3000 the movie is the reason why Entei is my favorite Pokemon. Unsurprisingly, Zelda. For me, Wind Waker takes the cake because of the gameplay. How many times I replayed this throughout my whole life. There's just something about Wind Waker that stands above the rest. The Wind Waker itself, changing the direction of the wind, riding on a boat on the sea. It's just all really, really fun elements. A lot of people bag on the art style, but I love it so much. All of them are just so, so good. I think Ocarina, I know that Ocarina of Time is kind of regarded as the greatest video game of all time, but that was when I more so watched my siblings play, and it was kind of spooky vibes, along with Majora's Mask. So having Wind Waker was a nice change of pace. Zelda is definitely a comfort game for me. I love the balance between the puzzles, the exploration, and the combat. I feel like it's very rare for any other series to nail all three of those elements in the same way. It's a game that feels familiar to a lot of us, but with each game that they release, it still feels like I'm in awe and I can't wait to explore the game and see what it has to offer. Persona 5 is a 10 out of 10. I don't think I have any criticisms for it. Playing this as a high schooler with the plot being about high schoolers kind of overcoming adults and the corruption and all the things was so much fun. I played Persona 3 before I played Persona 5. As you can tell, I love turn-based games. It's very like trendy, stylish. The screen after a battle, the animations during the fight scenes, the music itself. And I love that you can fight monsters and also do your laundry, go to the batting cages, romance characters, go to school, have exams. And there is Persona 5 Royale, which I have not played. I put 110 hours on the OG and then Royale was released. Let me know if I should play that. I've heard people say that it feels like a new game, so Let me know if that's true or not. Just recently started playing Stardew Valley, but Rune Factory is my favorite farming sim. I think farming sims alone can kind of get too boring, too cozy feeling for me. So I love that Rune Factory has the added combat system. I think the character designs are gorgeous. I love that it feels a little bit more fantasy, JRPG, and that you can romance the characters. In middle school and high school, that was a huge selling point for me if a game had romanceable characters, and Rune Factory definitely has that. The newer games I haven't loved as much. Overall, I love the series a lot. The gameplay and the character designs are really what stand out about this game. I love that I can both farm and go do dungeons, take the characters with me, and highly recommend it. If you're looking for a farming sim that maybe has some added action to it. Fantasy Life is a fantastic, underrated game that I hardly hear anyone talk about. It feels very MMORPG inspired, and the newest one has elements of Animal Crossing, making it a little bit more cozy. But I love Fantasy Life because you can do literally anything that you want. You can be a cook, a tailor, a woodcutter, a fisher, a paladin, a magician, like literally whatever. I feel like the job system is just so well done. My favorite thing about it is the writing. It is so witty. Specifically in the DS version, they just released a new game this year and I loved it. I just think the writing was better, wittier, funnier in the first game. And it's a game that you can play with friends. I played it with my sister and we had so much fun. We put so many hours, restarted the game plenty of times. Ace Attorney, the series as a whole, there's not a single bad game. I could replay every game 10 times over and never get bored. This is like my ultimate comfort cozy game. I love acting like an attorney. The writing is so stellar. It'll make me laugh because of how witty it is, and then make me really emotional because of how tragic the story can be at times. The battle of wits in the courtroom against Miles Edgeworth and Von Karma and Winston Payne are so entertaining. I never get bored of it. It's very fun watching Phoenix, the MC, be the underdog. He's like barely making it through each case. The cast is amazing. The music's amazing. There are so many Ace Attorney games and I need more. Final Fantasy. It's so hard for me to pick my favorite game out of this franchise because there's genuinely, like there's Crystal Chronicles. I loved 15 at the time that I played it. I like sent a video of myself sobbing to my sister. But objectively, if I had to pick my top 3, it would be 6, 7, and 10. In no particular order because if you know me, I can't choose. The music is S tier, S plus tier, God tier. Absolutely insane. Dancing Mad is my favorite, probably my favorite video game soundtrack of all time. I love how different each game feels. From Final Fantasy VII being super dark, cyberpunk, steampunk, and then to games like 9 where it's like medieval fantasy, and then 10 where you're like a surfer boy. I'm so emotionally attached to the characters. I feel like this franchise is so much more than just the amazing combat and the music, but it's very emotional and very impactful, and that is why I will never stop yapping about this. And Fire Emblem, another franchise because again, just back to back amazing games. I have no complaints other than Engage. Engage felt a little bit too anime-ish and I didn't love that. I think what made Fire Emblem so special was kind of this medieval fantasy feel that it had to it and just the environment itself. My favorite Fire Emblem game is Awakening. The first one that I ever played was Sacred Stones. Loved it so much that my sister and I were religiously looking at Black Friday deals because back then they used to release collector's editions or like really special versions during Black Friday. When we were looking at the options, she was like, oh my gosh, Amber, they're doing one for Fire Emblem. You should get it. And I'm so happy that she told me to because this just solidified my love for the entire series. And I went back and played Path of Radiance, haven't finished. Blazing Blade, also haven't finished. I played every game released after Awakening. This is just my favorite gameplay. Turn-based strategy. I have, I think, 400 hours on Awakening alone. I replayed it many times. Awakening is a game that literally saved the entire franchise. It was going to be the last game if it didn't sell well, and I'm so happy that it did. So I implore with you, if you've not played any of the Fire Emblem games, please do. I think Awakening, Three Houses, and it seems like a lot of people were saying that Sacred Stones was their first entry into the game, so maybe that's a great one to start with as well. And those are my top 10 favorite video games of all time. I'm playing quite a few right now, so if this list changes, I'll update it. But let me know what your favorite video games are below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.